A grizzly escapes its habitat at the Calgary Zoo.
It's like a Jurassic Park situation over there. Like, what are they doing?
Fitz busts out, and now we know how.
Fitz was able to climb above the containment barriers and access an area just outside and above his habitat.
Plus, Canada's inflation rate inches up thanks to renewed Mideast hostilities.
Claw back on what you eat. More soup, less steak.
The grocery store, the gas pump. Calgarians are feeling it. And lighting up the sky. A direct hit on the Calgary Tower during a weekend storm.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. It's not your imagination. It is costing you more for almost everything this summer. Prices for transportation, fuel, groceries all remain considerably higher in Canada. Inflation continues to soar nationally, but here in Alberta, inflation is skyrocketing past the national average. Tyson Fedor now on how to manage your finances when prices peak.
No matter where you go, prices are high.
Of course, everything's going up, and Calgary's more expensive than anywhere else for quite a long time in lots of areas.
The national inflation rate is 3%. It's even worse here at 4.2% in Alberta, the same in Calgary. Compared to the rest of the country, we have one of the highest rates of inflation.
As a senior, it's really hurting. Groceries, gasoline for the car, medical, on prescription.
Gas prices have soared year over year, up nearly 26% last month compared to this time last year. That's thanks in large part to the U.S. war with Iran and the constant opening and closing of the Strait of Hormuz.
If you exclude gasoline prices, transportation costs, core inflation is still comfortable for the Bank of Canada. The problem is if this starts to build into, more broadly into other goods.
Some money-saving experts know Albertans are feeling the pinch.
But write it down. That keeps you in track and on track with your expenses. So that's number one. Number two, open up a savings account and put $5 in. If you can't afford $5, put $2.
Despite grocery prices slightly ticking up, July marked 18 straight months that grocery price inflation outpaced the consumer price index.
You know what? You're not alone. A lot of Albertans are struggling with inflation and the cost of living. Post-pandemic, right? I joke that a bag of apples is $9. It doesn't come with caramel or a manicure and a pedicure. It's just $9 for apples.
And for many, this economy is about just getting by with what you have, with economists warning that there is no reprieve in sight, at least for the short term.
I'm retired, so I'm just on Canada pension and old age security, so every time it goes up, my pensions don't go up enough to match it. More soup, less steak.
And Tyson joins us now. Tyson, world events led to a much more expensive July for many people.
Well, Tara, you can look at travel prices increasing in July. Of course, those were up. Airline costs were up. That's, of course, because many U.S. destinations having high, expensive hotel prices and those flights to get to those U.S. destinations because of the World Cup this summer. But air transport over the last year is up 12%. That's due to higher jet fuel costs. Now, ATB Financial says that just because we are seeing increased inflation at this point, it does not necessarily mean that the Bank of Canada will raise its interest rates starting next month. ATB Financial predicting that we may have a holding pattern for the rest of 2026. Tara?
Okay, Tyson, thank you. Another blow for the massive data center planned for Olds. The Alberta Utilities Commission has paused the application to build a natural gas plant to power the complex. Synapse is proposing a 10-building data center campus within the town limits. In its decision, the commission says the proposed project is too close to the surrounding community, and the company has not justified its reason for choosing that specific location. The company also has to provide answers to other outstanding issues. The provincial government has been advocating for more data centers in Alberta, but priority is given to projects that provide their own power. A grizzly bear escaped its zoo habitat over the weekend. The orphaned cub managed to climb up and over an electrified enclosure, but didn't wander far. Zoo staff tranquilized him before the facility opened. But the incident has people once again asking questions about management at the Wilder Institute. Tyler Barrow has more.
1-year-old Fitz made the difficult dash for freedom, but he didn't stray far from his grizzly bear habitat over the weekend. Around 7:30 Sunday morning, staff noticed the large carnivore wasn't in his enclosure with his brother Turner. It's not clear when Fitz escaped. It could have been overnight or only hours, but emergency procedures were activated and he was quickly found.
Thanks to the swift coordination response, Fitz was anesthetized and he was safely relocated back to his back-of-house space.
No guests, staff members, volunteers, or animals were injured. The zoo's initial investigation points to him climbing up his 10-foot fence, past an overhang, and even a hot wire. Fitz accessed an area just outside and above his habitat.
This is insane. Like, a grizzly escaping.
Just thought it was crazy and scary because grizzlies are, they can be very aggressive. Oh my God, a grizzly. That's like not a survivable bear to encounter.
One retired large carnivore conflict biologist suggests the animal's curiosity likely motivated the escape.
If there was any kind of a weakness, it wouldn't surprise me that a bear would find that.
Animal protection agency Zoo Check says zoo habitat escapes happen, but this could have ended much worse.
Had that bear gotten out during time when the public was there, there could have been a serious incident.
The organization also cites animal deaths due to human error and other mishaps at the zoo, including a gorilla once grabbing a knife.
It is distressing to see that incidents continue at one of the larger, more esteemed zoos in the country.
Meanwhile, the zoo assures people it is a safe place to visit.
He had to have gone through some of that, and that was not comfortable for him. So he had some yucky moments trying to get out of that habitat.
And Tyler joins us now from the zoo. Tyler, Zoo Check is calling for an external audit. So what protocols is the zoo taking regarding this investigation?
Tara, the zoo says it is open to an external audit, but rather lean on staff and colleagues for guidance. Now, there will be some mitigation work done with habitat changes likely coming. Most of all, though, the zoo does want to reassure people it is a safe place to come and visit. Tara?
Okay, Tyler, thank you. A regional park on Vancouver Island is closed to the public after a black bear attack. A woman was hiking with her off-leash dog Friday when she encountered a mother bear and her cub. The sow attacked the dog to protect the cub. The woman intervened and she sustained undisclosed injuries. Nearly a month ago, a man was also injured near Cumberland after finding himself and his off-leash dog between a mother bear and her cub. We are now less than 48 hours from proposed new U.S. tariffs being imposed on a variety of Canadian products, unless a deal is reached between the two countries. Today, Prime Minister Mark Carney said he will be talking to Donald Trump before Wednesday's deadline. CTV's senior political correspondent, Mike Couture, has the very latest from Washington. Mike.
Trade talks went to a whole new level and a new location today as both Canadian and American representatives met here at the Department of Commerce.
How are talks going with Canada?
Both sides said little as they arrived for what turned out to be a meeting that lasted an hour and 45 minutes. That's the longest that the two sides have sat together in recent days, reflecting the, quote, delicate and intense nature of the negotiations, as described by Prime Minister Mark Carney earlier today. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick was also at the meeting. Given the prominent role in directing the president's protectionist policy, it's perhaps a signal that the two sides are preparing to present both the president, Donald Trump, and Prime Minister Mark Carney with the layout of a possible deal. As we had reported last week, the hope was to put something on Trump's desk either today or tomorrow.
We're going to continue working. Our job is not yet done.
Now, earlier in the day, Carney said he and Trump will be having a call to discuss the looming tariff deadline.
We'll have opportunities over the next 48 hours to discuss in more detail as the negotiations go forward, and I think that's the best forum.
There is a sense of urgency as well. We're less than 48 hours from 50% tariffs being applied to a wide swath of Canadian imports into the United States. It's something that the Canadian Chamber of Commerce said would be devastating for small and medium-sized businesses. Mike Couture, CTV News, Washington.
A Calgary truck driver has been busted for speeding through a construction zone in BC's Nicola Valley while hauling a load of 9 vehicles. Police say the driver was pulled over on July 31st after getting clocked going 109 kilometers an hour in a 60-kilometer zone near Merritt. The driver didn't stop right away, and an inspection later found problems with the truck's brakes and tires. The 53-year-old from Calgary was fined more than $1,000, and the truck was impounded for 7 days.
You're watching CTV News Calgary.
A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for the Calgary region tonight. A system roared through last night, too, and on Saturday. There was an impressive lightning strike downtown. That's the moment lightning struck the top of the Calgary Tower, followed by a loud thunderclap. The 191-meter tower is equipped with lightning rods and a protection system designed to direct the current down to the ground to prevent injury and damage. There was also heavy rain, but no reports of flooding. Let's bring Danielle in. I don't know who slept through last night's storm because it was loud.
Yeah, that's a tough one to sleep through unless you have earplugs in or something like that, or a really sound sleeper. And hopefully you're a really sound sleeper, because this is the pattern we're in for the next few nights. So for the next 3 nights, we have the potential of nighttime thunderstorms in the city. A couple things are starting to develop off to the west, but a lot of them fizzling out before they make their way all the way to Calgary. But by about 1 a.m., that's when we get into our chance again of actually having a decent likelihood of thunderstorms in the city. So 21 degrees is the temperature right now. It's clear, it's beautiful. We're really going to have the heat build in over these next few days. So by tomorrow, you're looking at a high of 27. Air quality health index for the next 24 hours around moderate, which is where we are now. And again, for the overnight hours, we do have a chance of thunderstorms, and that arrives once again for tomorrow night. Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Students and teachers return to the classroom very soon, but 2 Calgary educators are coming back with a fresh perspective. They spent some of the summer exploring historic locations in northern France. They hope their visits to Vimy Ridge, Juno Beach, and other significant war sites will resonate with students back here at home. Tommy Osborne reports.
A lot of these boys, frankly speaking, were not much older than the kids that I teach in school.
Lessons learned by teachers abroad as an educational tour across historic locations like Dieppe, Juno Beach, Vimy Ridge, and more highlight the true sacrifice of war.
Here's an 18-year-old person going to fight overseas. Here's their experiences day to day. Let's talk a bit more about what life was like for them compared to just here's some dates and names and stuff to memorize.
Organized by the Juno Beach Center and EF Educational Tours, the 10-day tour included museums, cemeteries, and historic locations.
Actually being there, there was a very profound sense of reflection and remembrance.
Both teachers hope to bring the personal stories and emotions back to the classrooms.
If you bring the humanity into these, these old situations that happen in history, I feel like people, children especially, can connect to them deeper and with a more meaningful way.
Watts recalled a Canadian soldier taken prisoner after Dieppe who had a brief connection with a French woman who was crying, assuring her he would be back. 2 years later, he was fighting on D-Day.
He was probably terrified, had no idea what was going to happen to him. And here's this French woman he's never met, and she's in tears, and he thinks of her first. And he says, don't worry. I think that to me is quite beautiful.
Now back home, both teachers feel an extra sense of responsibility.
I feel now that it is almost like a duty to make sure that those lights, those little flickers of lights and of the past, the memories of the men and the women who fought, that they don't fade out.
Tommy Osborne, CTV News, Calgary.
The Juno Beach Centre is Canada's only museum on the D-Day landing beaches in Normandy, and has provided more than 350 teachers with this educational tour opportunity. With the first day of school just around the corner, a local organization is making sure Calgary children have lunch. Brown Bagging for Calgary's Kids is launching its back-to-school campaign. Donations will be matched up to $350,000. The group currently serves nearly 8 1,000 children every school day in more than 290 Calgary schools. Teachers volunteering today say they see the difference this program is making for their students.
For us as educators, when the kids come in and we know that we can put sandwiches and snacks into the hands of kids that need it, it's going to benefit the kid right away. The smile that comes on the face is like he can't even begin to explain how happy they are that they're going to have something to eat with a lot of their other kids that they're sitting around.
To donate or to volunteer, you can visit bb4ck.org. The campaign runs through September 30th. Canadian doctors are raising the alarm about misinformation around vitamin K shots. It's recommended all newborns receive a shot to help with blood clotting, but some parents seeing fake claims online are being scared off. And just how far does $100 go at the grocery store these days? We'll do a quick shop next. We mentioned earlier, July inflation numbers are up. Grocery price growth slowed a bit in Canada. That's little comfort, though, for consumers who are feeling pinched at the supermarket. Paul Hollingsworth reports.
When shoppers go to the grocery store, based on the vibe, it feels like, at best, food prices are staying the same.
Or going up, but not going down.
According to Stats Canada, food inflation dropped to 3.1% in July, down from 3.9% the previous month. Analysts say it's good news, but not great news.
We're still seeing pressure on grocery prices on food.
The high cost of food continues to contribute to an ongoing affordability crisis.
The inflation pressures on households, is still problematic for many households in Canada.
Chicken and fresh vegetables saw a slower rise in price. Cereal products are slightly cheaper. Fresh fruit, most notably berries and melons, are now more expensive.
I feel for a lot of people, families in particular, and people on fixed incomes.
We decided to go shopping, grabbing numerous grocery items, including cereal, pasta, bananas, seafood, chicken, and berries. Total price, $99.67, barely enough to fill 2 small grocery bags. This shopper is getting creative to save money.
Try to buy in bulk, try to freeze things, do a lot of freezing, doing a lot of Googling of what can be frozen. For how long?
Many shoppers tell us they are resigned to paying a lot for groceries, and when prices go down a bit, it doesn't even get noticed. It has forced them to shop around for better deals, be selective, and only buy the essential items they need. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
People living in East Kootenay have changed their clocks for the last time. The regional district has voted to remain on permanent mountain daylight time. The decision comes after months of debate and public consultation. In March, a decision to stay on Mountain Standard Time to align with most of BC was met with pushback. In follow-up surveys, 89% of respondents preferred to stop changing the time semi-annually. Staying on daylight time will keep the region in the same time zone as Alberta.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Danielle back in now. So we have to brace ourselves for more possible thunderstorms tonight.
Yeah, more possible thunderstorms tonight, especially around that midnight hour. And then for the next 3 nights, we have the possibility of that as well. So, Mother Nature making it interesting for us. All right, 21 degrees is the temperature right now. We did get to 23 today in the city. So that's around normal for this time of year. Normal daytime high is 22. 25 is the temperature right now in Brooks, Medicine Hat, and 24 in Lethbridge, 26 in Drumheller. So Drumheller's one of the hot spots out there right now. We're looking at getting this warmer air that's going to make its way in. So tomorrow will be a hot day in the city, and then we're going to go back and forth basically from the mid-20s to the high 20s for this week. And the rest of this week will be above normal and at times well above normal. All right, so we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in place. Yes, Calgary is included in this. We do have a lot of development that's happening in the mountains, but it's fizzling out really fast. So the chance chances are small that we'll see anything over these next couple of hours. We have a greater chance closer to the midnight hour. And closer to Coronation, there are 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in place. So I'm going to show you what's going on there. And you can see these cells. So quarter-size hail possible with these ones, but these ones are starting to fizzle out as well as they track towards the southeast. So Coronation, Consort, potentially in the path of these cells. But again, these are starting to weaken as they track towards the southeast. All the cells are tracking towards the southeast. There's been a couple that have developed outside of the city and west of the QE2, but again, they are fizzling out before they make their way into Calgary. By the time we get closer to the midnight hour, though, some of these will be able to gain enough steam to cross the QE2, and we have the potential of seeing that in Calgary once again as well. And then for tomorrow, same idea. Mix the sun and cloud. A nice day overall. Certainly hot. By tomorrow, the chance of showers, isolated showers or thunderstorms arrives a little earlier, so around the supper hours, and then we have the potential in the evening and overnight as well. It's very isolated. It's very few and far between, but I just want to make sure you're aware of the potential. By Wednesday night, that's our greater chance of thunderstorms, and that's at nighttime around that midnight hour, and then that carries in through parts of Thursday as well. All right, here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 27 degrees is our high for tomorrow. It will be a hot one, and then yes, there is a small chance of an evening or late night thunderstorm. Greater chance of a late night thunderstorm Wednesday night. You're looking at a high of 26 on Wednesday, and then by Thursday, anywhere after 2 or 3 in the afternoon is when we get into the risk of thunderstorms. So it's a bit of an unstable day for Thursday, and by then just a high of 24 degrees.
Thank you, Danielle. Doctors are warning about a disturbing trend. Parents refusing an injection of vitamin K for their newborns at birth. It's been common practice in Canada since the early 1960s, and it helps with clotting to prevent brain bleeds. Heather Wright reports.
Do you believe that babies have a vitamin K deficiency?
Slick videos like this one are all over the internet explaining to parents the alleged risks associated with the vitamin K shot.
This is interference with long-term consequences they never talk about.
Doctors say this type of misinformation is leading to an increase in parents refusing the shot, which is given to babies right after birth to help with blood clotting.
The incidence seems to be increasing, which is why there's concerns.
Dr. Eugene Ng is a neonatologist at Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto and says because babies are born with a vitamin K deficiency, a shot of the nutrient is given to prevent a rare but potentially life-threatening condition known as vitamin K deficiency bleeding, which can lead to brain bleeds and long-term brain damage.
Late vitamin K deficiency bleeding is associated with a 3 times higher risk of intracranial hemorrhages, meaning that it's bleeding into the brain. And bleeding into the brain is a severe complication.
Those opposed to the vitamin K shot list a host of reasons why, including concerns about ingredients, preservatives, and debunked links to leukemia.
This is a well-established, much-needed, very routine biomedical procedure.
Timothy Caulfield is a professor at the University of Alberta and says parents who refuse the vitamin K shot are also less likely to vaccinate their children. He says both are examples of the power of health misinformation.
That sort of personal, urgent message from an influencer that you might relate to can be more persuasive than the authoritative voice that's expressing what the science actually says.
It's hard to know just how many Canadian parents are declining this shot, but a new study from Sweden found from 2006 to 2021, the refusal rate more than doubled. Doctors say there is an oral alternative for parents who are hesitant to give their baby a shot.
Heather Wright, CTV News.
A 16-year-old girl is dead after a shooting in Edmonton on Sunday. What neighbors tell us about the hours leading up to her death. And a weekend wedding for one of Calgary and Canada's favorite artists, Jan Arden, ties the knot. A 16-year-old girl is dead after a reported shooting at an Edmonton home early Sunday morning. Nicole Weisberg has more on an apparent fight at that house the night before.
Video from a neighbor shows paramedics flooding into a Clairview townhouse early Sunday morning. Police were called here for a shooting just before 7 a.m. They say they arrived before EMS and found a girl seriously hurt. Officers performed CPR, but the girl died as EMS arrived. Family members have identified the teen as Jasmine Desi and say she did not live here. She was visiting a friend. Doorbell video from the night before shows several people in the parking lot outside the home. Around 11 p.m., during what sounds like an argument, someone is heard making a death threat.
I was there with them. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
About 8 hours later, police were called here for reports of a shooting.
It's hard to sleep at night right now. It's especially when you see police walking around.
For those who live nearby, the girl's death is hard to fathom.
I have a daughter of my own, and to think of, if that was my own daughter, but I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't.
And for Tanya Dollig, this brings back painful memories of another woman killed in the same complex 20 years ago. Nadine Robinson was found dead in a townhouse just 2 doors away. In that case, no one was ever charged.
We just had our anniversary. It brings it all back.
Dollig is hopeful answers in this case will come soon. An autopsy is scheduled for Wednesday. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
RCMP are investigating after a body was found in the Bow River near Canmore this weekend. The body of a 52-year-old Canmore man was spotted Sunday morning. He was found in the river between Canmore and Bow River Campground. Police are investigating the circumstances leading up to his death. Calgary police are looking for a man after an assault at Spanky's Saloon on 10th Avenue Friday night. 3 people were hurt. 1 appeared to have been stabbed. The victims were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police believe the suspect did not know the victims. Investigators are looking for 22-year-old Devontae Traverse. He is also wanted on multiple warrants. Spruce Grove residents are protesting outside City Hall, concerned about the future of emergency services. They worry the new provincial emergency funding model program could mean longer wait times for emergency care. A provincial policy has changed the way municipalities receive funding to pay for emergency services like paramedics, fire and ambulances. Municipalities were told they had to choose between a new program or receive less money to keep things the same, with the city footing the bill. Spruce Grove Council chose to switch to the new program, but residents worry that will mean less resources.
Our firefighters and paramedics, they need to be working together, because you take those integrated services away and now you've got to put it all on the firefighters.
I am hoping that council is open to listening to frontline workers, to the people that do this job on a day-to-day basis who are raising concerns. I'm hoping that they will reconsider their decision.
Spruce Grove's transition date has been extended to November 1st in order to give time for an independent review of the province's funding calculations. A school that was once the center of the Tumbler Ridge, BC community is being torn down. Demolition is underway at the site of one of Canada's deadliest mass shootings back in February that claimed 8 lives. Crews are now beginning to remove the exterior of the school. The building is being dismantled in stages to limit disruption, with materials going to landfills outside the community. A new school will be built in a different location while students continue learning in temporary classrooms. Well, do you have any grand ideas to celebrate a milestone birthday? This family had to just go along for the ride when the matriarch chose skydiving. And it wasn't the first time. Trending videos are next. Canadian singer Jan Arden is married. Arden tied the knot Saturday to Icelandic author and activist Sorda Selva. Photos posted to social media show the pair dressed in white wedding attire with the caption, "Wife and Wife." The couple met at a writer's retreat in Iceland at the beginning of last year and then got engaged on New Year's Eve. Congratulations to them. That's awesome. All right, well, I think it's safe to say lying is never a good idea, unless it is to pull off an epic surprise like this.
Because we're actually not going to Florida. We're actually going to Paris. Are you kidding me?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. Nellie told her mom they were going to Florida, but then when they got to the airport, they were checking in. Surprise, we're going to Paris instead.
Best lie ever.
Yes.
That's a good one. I'd take that lie any day.
This video is so cute because the mom was running all over telling strangers, I'm going to Paris, you guys, I'm going to Paris.
Well, they're going to have fun. You can just tell, right?
Oh, her daughter had to sneakily pack her passport and everything,
Oh, wow, that's so
good.
sweet.
Well, would you be brave enough to skydive? Several members of this family had to join in because they had to join their grandma.
There's not that many other people on planet Earth that can say, hey, I'm going skydiving with my grandma that's 100. You know? I mean, it's pretty special.
100.
100.
Ruby
Wow.
McNally and her grandkids plunged nearly 4 kilometers to celebrate the new centenarian. This is not her first skydive either, you guys. She also jumped at 80 and 90.
Really?
She's now done it at 100, and she said she wants to do it again when she turns 110.
Now, you know, with grandma doing, you'd have to do it.
The
pressure
can't
would
just
be
say,
on,
I'm
right?
scared. Yeah,
you
you kind of got to do it.
I mean, someone needs a photographer. I'd happily.
She's 100?
She's 100. Yes. Wow. Amazing.
Right.
Boy.
Well, Simon Fraser University's pipe band is officially the best in the world. The band won the 2026 World Championship at Glasgow Green in Scotland. SFU sat 7th on Friday, but then they came back to claim victory over the weekend. It was the band's first victory at the event with a new pipe major, but it is actually their 7th championship in the band's 46-year history. They last won in 2009.
That is quite the honor.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. They sound pretty good.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing. Actress Hayden Panettiere has died at the age of 36. Emergency personnel responded to a 911 call about a reported cardiac arrest. Those details are next.
All right, here's your Skywatch weather camera, and couple clouds are starting to roll on into the city. Isolated showers are possible. You can see the clouds a little darker looking this direction. 21 degrees is the current temperature. Today's high was 23. So overall, we had a stunning day today. Reasonable temperatures right where they should be. And we're getting into a little bit of instability now, especially to the west of the city, and we will likely see some activity arrive once again for tonight, just like we had last night and the night before. All right, so it's 21 in the city, 24 in Banff, 25 in Medicine Hat, 24 in Lethbridge. Again, right where we should be in most communities in southern Alberta. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Yes, Calgary included. There are more severe storms, and that's why the warning is in place near Coronation, but these are starting to weaken as they track towards the southeast. But quarter-size hail has been reported with them. These are the cells that are developing off to the west. Again, a lot of them losing steam pretty quickly, not really having enough to make it into the city. But in the overnight hours, especially by midnight, we have a better chance of getting those thunderstorms. Air quality health index remaining around that moderate level for these next 24 hours. That's where we're at now as well. 15 degrees at 8 a.m., getting up to 27. So it's a hot day tomorrow. And then tomorrow, late evening, supper hours, basically after 6 p.m., we get into the risk of thunderstorms once again. That's your 24-hour forecast, brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free.
Thank you, Danielle. A grizzly bear found loose in the zoo Sunday simply climbed out of its enclosure. Calgary Zoo officials say the 1-year-old got out but stayed close to his enclosure. They don't know how long Fitz was free before he was tranquilized and returned to his habitat. Trade negotiations are coming down to the wire. A meeting between Canadian and American negotiators wrapped up in Washington. Just 2 days remain until U.S. President Donald Trump's new wave of tariffs take effect. And a Calgary driver has been charged after a truck was flagged for speeding through a construction zone in BC. Police say the rig was going 109 kilometers an hour in a 60-kilometer zone while hauling a load of vehicles. The entertainment world is mourning the death of Hayden Panettiere at just 36 years old. She was best known for her roles in the TV series Heroes and Nashville. Panettiere also appeared in 2 Scream movies. She released a memoir earlier this year, sharing her battles with addiction and depression. Panettiere's father announced her death late last night. No cause of death was given. Nearly 30 years after the death of hip-hop legend Tupac Shakur, opening arguments began today in his murder trial.
Dwayne Davis did not pull the trigger. But what he did do was plan the retaliation for the beating of his nephew.
Prosecutors say one-time gang leader Dwayne Davis greenlit Shakur's murder and got the gun that was used to shoot him. They claim the 63-year-old was angry that his nephew was roughed up by Shakur and his entourage. The defense argued there is a lack of facts in the case. Davis is charged with murder and has pleaded not guilty. Tupac Shakur rose to superstardom in the 90s with hits like California Love. The 25-year-old was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting near the Las Vegas Strip in 1996. 4 pieces of art dating back to the Renaissance were stolen in a museum heist in Sicily this weekend. The theft took place Saturday evening, with thieves managing to bypass alarm and security systems. The 4 works are attributed to Renaissance painter Antonello de Messina. The institution's director called the situation a tremendous loss for the museum, the city, the community, and the art world. Just last week, Italy's police recovered 3 other famous paintings stolen in March from a museum in Parma in northern Italy. Gas prices are once again to blame for pushing the inflation rate up to 3% in July. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
The rate was 2.8% in June, and most economists had expected it to hit 2.9% last month. With the Mideast conflict still unresolved, the price of oil has been volatile. That meant paying more to fill up the gas tank and to travel, with jet fuel spiking as well. Statistics Canada has also released inflation rates for major cities, but warned they are based on small samples. The rate of inflation for Whitehorse was the highest at 5.5%. Halifax was 4.8%. St. John, New Brunswick, 4.5%. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up a fraction to 72.08. West Texas Intermediate moved up over $2 to 84.50 U.S. a barrel. Western Canadian Select is up to 64.48, and the TSX dropped 62 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
WestJet has released its winter schedule, and it includes more flights to Latin America and the Caribbean. The Calgary-based airline says its capacity will increase from all cities in Western Canada, including an 18% growth in capacity from Calgary. That includes more flights to Cancun, twice daily flights to Los Cabos, and a new weekly flight to Merida in Mexico. Earlier this year, WestJet announced a direct 14-hour flight between Calgary and Sao Paulo, Brazil. Robots waged war with each other this weekend at TELUS Spark. They flipped, ripped, sliced and diced in the National Kilobot Championship. Here's Tommy Osborne with more.
Sparks were flying at the TELUS Spark as Kilobots battled to be crowned the nation's best.
This is our annual big year-end event, so teams have been fighting it out all year long at different smaller events, both in Saskatoon and Calgary, and this is the culmination of all of their efforts.
It's high-stakes action, where one wrong move could see your robot sliced, flipped, knocked out of the ring, and more.
The first time I fought, I barely realized what had happened. Suddenly the fight was over, my hands were shaking, and I was like, whoa. This is amazing. The adrenaline rush is huge.
You forget everything else around you and you're just focused in the box. You see your bot, you see what's going on, and you're just kind of in like a fugue state. You're driving, you're in it, and it's exhilarating, your adrenaline's pumping.
Because it's nationals, the event drew a notable crowd, and the builders love showing off their hobby.
It encourages other people, and especially kids, to come and get involved in engineering and other types of subjects like that. They love combat robots, and when you see the smiles on their faces when they realize that they can actually see combat robots live right here is so amazing.
I like their fun designs like Archimedes and Flesh Wound. They have pretty fun design looks.
It takes a lot of engineering know-how to earn a win, and the educational challenge is one that's embraced by the community.
As a father, I like to say that this is a stealth learning opportunity. You can get people into Kilobots by showing them the sparks and the crashing and the excitement. But when they start building robots and wondering, how do I improve this one thing that broke last time? Well, now they're really on a creative engineering learning path.
One day I will build a robot. Weapons does kind of like.
Tommy Osborne, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, wolves are getting Canada Post's stamp of approval. Canada Post has just issued new stamps focusing on the role wolves play in Canada's natural habitat. They feature a grey wolf, eastern wolf, Arctic grey wolf, and coastal grey wolf. Grey wolves are the largest and most widespread wolf in Canada, and they are found everywhere except the Maritimes. Crews are getting the course ready for the Rogers Charity Classic. After an impressive finish last year, a Calgarian and a fan favorite is ready to go too. Glenn has Wes Martin's story. That's next. The Special Olympics Summer Games wrapped up in Medicine Hat with a closing ceremony Saturday. The week-long event saw thousands descend on the Gas City. Over 1,200 athletes competed in 10 sports over 5 days. Organizers are thrilled with how the games turned out. Nearly 30,000 volunteer hours helped make those games a success. The next Canadian Special Olympics will be the winter edition in Kelowna in 2028. Another Rogers Charity Classic is set for this week at Canyon Meadows Golf and Country Club. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, a Calgarian's hoping to build on his great performance from last year.
Tara, Wes Martin is a pipe fitter by trade. He's also a really, really good golfer, and he proved that last year at the Rogers Charity Classic.
Wes Martin had to qualify to get into last year's Rogers Charity Classic.
Calgary's own Mr. Wes Martin.
And the Calgarian made the most of it. Martin finished the tournament at 4 under par. He ended up being the top Canadian.
I never thought I'd be low Canadian against those guys, you know what I mean? I was playing well last year, and it all worked out. Took one of my best rounds ever to actually get into the tournament, so I was actually at the top of my game at that time, so it worked out great.
Martin was playing in his first PGA Tour Champions event and ended up in a tie for 38th place. He says he learned a lot from last year.
I learned that I can, even with my limited amount of time to play and practice, you know, that I'm still capable, maybe not playing at the highest level, but you know, if I'm at the top of my game, I feel like I can compete.
Martin didn't have to qualify this year. He was given a sponsor's exemption. That took a lot of pressure off of him this year. He says he hasn't played much leading into this year's Classic, so what are the expectations?
All the pressure I put on is basically myself putting it on. You know, I would like to play better than last year. I'd like to finish higher in a perfect world and make top 10 and play again next week. But, you know, to be realistic, I have to kind of dumb it down and just do the one shot at a time, right?
Martin says he still has to pinch himself. A pipe fitter who just happens to be a really good golfer, getting to tee it up with some of the best seniors in the world.
I don't know how to look at it, to be honest with you. You know, I look at myself as this average guy, works for a living, that wishes I was still traveling and playing golf, right? So the fact that I even, you know, two times, this is my second time, I pinch myself.
And tomorrow they'll hold the qualifier at Valley Ridge. And here's some great news for a former Okotoks Dogs pitcher. Matt Tugboat Wilkinson has been called up by the San Francisco Giants. The lefty is expected to make his debut very soon. Love that nickname. Tugboat.
It is a good nickname. What an exciting call to get. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Glenn. Yeah. Okay, final peek at the forecast.
You know, it's not as much of an exciting call. That lightning and thunder in the middle of the night when you finally fell asleep.
And then the whole house shakes.
Yeah.
So my dog was terrified.
Same.
Oh.
My kids were too. So this is the potential for the next 3 nights. Just to put that in perspective, we have a much greater chance Wednesday night and Thursday night, smaller chance tomorrow night. Decent chance tonight as well. 27 is our high for tomorrow, mid-20s Wednesday, Thursday, and then getting up to those higher 20s to kick off the weekend. So it's a hot, summery week. It's back. The heat's back. Okay, Leigh Muir sent this one in, and this is the lightning from last night's storm. Not sure how you got it on camera, but that's pretty impressive because that's hard to do. Your weather window is brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate.
There was so much of it last night, though. You probably just had to step outside. You have a better chance last night than most. Yes. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.